Hello, I'm Kim Malinowski. I'm an author, poet, and one of the hosts of the Terra Nova Lyceum. And this is a reading that's going to be for everyone. Usually, most of my readings are just for TNL. I keep the rest away. My parents keep finding them, so you know how it is. But it is Mabon, or the beginning of it. Tomorrow is equinox, and that would be Thursday the 22nd. I am you know, videoing, I guess you could say zooming, actually on the 21st of September. So technically Mabon, but also tomorrow is technically Mabon. So most of my friends are just, celebrating the entire week. And please, let me know exactly what you're celebrating. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm celebrating blah, blah, blah. It can be like holidays too. Like I would love to know about what holidays. I'm sure there's lots of seasonal holidays right now. I know that just with the neo-pagan community, there's lots. So in the overall broader sense, no, of course, right? Yes. So please either drop below, Facebook me. It's pretty easy to Facebook me. You can reach me at my email is kymalien, like beam me up at hotmail.com. Long story about that one. We won't go into that, at least not yet. I have to have a book about that first. Okay, we are going to begin our reading. First, this is for, I'm supposed to say this, okay? Gotta be proper. This is for the reading for tomorrow, which is Thursday, the 22nd, Friday, the 23rd, Saturday, the 21st, 24th, and I always like say slide into Sunday because like everything is malleable. These cards can come at any time really within our lives. And I do believe that if you find this, it is a timeless reading. So if you're like a week behind or whatever, must have some reason, must have some message. So just take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And you are, if you're wearing earbuds, gonna hear a louder noise. This is my singing bowl. Okay. Beautiful, isn't it? It's secondhand, but wonderful. It forces you to take a breath too. My co-host Salva always has us breathe. I find it difficult just to take a breath and like not make fun of myself, but somehow with the sound, I'm able to breathe and release without that. Later on, not in this video, but in other videos that I'm going to be posting for TNL, this is going to be the candle that I use, and it's going to be probably amid my display, I guess you would. It's not quite an altar, but I've got pumpkins and gourds and such. It's a little smaller this year because food prices have gone up astronomically in my area in the US, and I don't know about elsewhere in other countries. This is a courage candle, so I want to share it with you first. It's going to be a little bit of a longer reading because I have both the Mabon reading that I'm going to include with this, and then also our usual. So this is courage. So when you see a picture, you know this is also for you. Let me harness my fears in a positive way to create strength in difficult situations. Give me a warrior's confidence to do what is right, not what is easy. Okay. And just so you know what the essential oils are, it's grapefruit, pine, and rosemary, and it's considered a red-orange candle. Okay. And believe me, this was a cheap candle. It was the $2 one. And would I have liked the fancier one? Well, yes, I would. But you know, next time. I already bought my fruit, right? For the rituals. Yeah. Okay. Now, second thing is that this is going to be coming up. It's going to come up hot fast. October, I feel like, is almost here. Now, this is really a month away, okay? But I do want to invite everyone, and I mean everyone, to my Phantom Reflection Masquerade launch, okay? And you can put those words together as much as you would like. You can dress in garb. It is near Halloween. It is Saturday, October 22nd, 2022. Now it's 2 to 4 p.m. I say 4 p.m. We'll see what happens. EST, and it's 11 to, PST. I have so many different locales that I know. Please figure out your time. Talk to me. We'll try to figure out your time. So yes, I just want to welcome you. You will find the link at my Facebook page. I'm pretty sure I put it on my website already. If not, it will be there. And then it's also in TNL's information. Okay. All right. Business over with. That is like the business, right? Okay. So for this week, I'm using the Literary Witches Oracle. I was about to say tarot. It sort of follows the tarot, sort of, okay? So the first card we pulled, which I already have, I did many little shufflings, but it takes time. And since I'm doing such a huge spread, I wasn't going to waste any more of yours. The first one that we got is the Cauldron. And that will be technically for Thursday, okay? But all my readings, sometimes they go right next to each other. Most of the time, they sort of mix up and they all combine into like one grandiose sort of idea and principle. And they sort of break up as they do. So this is the Cauldron. So it's the creativity, it's a rich broth. And then also when they say rich broth, I always think of nourishing. This is fall, so nourishing soups and stuff are probably a good idea. And surprising yourself, which I thought was interesting, that the Cauldron would surprise. And then I think of my cooking, and believe me, it is always a surprise. So I guess in some ways, magic in life is as well. I do believe that this is probably symbolic of one of the cups. I'm gonna call it I keep getting like this Ace of Cups feel. So a new beginning, even in new love interests, a new friend, a new pattern. And who doesn't need some newness around now, right? We need some newness. Okay. So second one, it was inverted, although this deck does not include inversions, all right? It's the wolf. Okay. So I didn't know exactly what it meant without reading it, which is why I'm going to read it exactly. And then I will go from there. So it is the self without others, a calling, the great expanse. And it sounds like this wolf is a lone wolf, right? But they also run in packs, and that is not in there. So I can believe that there is an epidemic of loneliness. I keep saying it. I certainly feel it. There's a void within me, even though I'm told I'm supposed to fill up my own void. Don't use somebody else. Don't be codependent. It's very difficult. And I'm not saying you should be this lone wolf. I'm saying be able to be the lone wolf, right? We can have a self. I am myself, but I can have friends. I can support and be lent on. I can lean and be lent on, and that's okay as long as we keep it healthy. I struggle with that. No lies. I can be clingy, but we're working on it. All my friends and I, and together, we'll get to it. Life is a journey. It doesn't end until we do. So you don't have to be a lone wolf, but you also don't have to be, together all the time either. So that is my message. That is not necessarily, the Literary Riches Tarot. So please, when you say, oh my gosh, I got this weird reading, and it was not the Literary Witch Tarot, okay? So this card, I guess you consider it a court card, since it is an author or a literary witch. This would be for Saturday? Yeah, it'll be for Saturday. I totally got a fourth one for Sunday, even though I told you I wouldn't. That's life. It throws you curveballs. All right, so this is Sylvia Plath. And you can see sort of like this bloody roots going down. She's holding, it looks like a donut, okay? No lie, it looks like a floating donut. But I think it's supposed to be her eye looking out, like her third eye looking out. But no lie, totally the donut. Or I'm hungry. And it says the dark, living in the dark. Intensity, fury. Okay, I'm gonna get it out of my light so you can actually see me some. Okay, she was born in Boston, Sylvia Plath, 1932 to 1963. She was a social and academic success in spite of severe depression and suicide attempts. On a Fulbright scholarship to Cambridge University, she met and married the poet Ted Hughes. While Hughes philandered and kept bees, I guess the kept bees was really a necessary item to conclude, Plath stayed home with 2 children and wrote increasingly brilliant and, here it is, scary poetry that made her use of her anger and her husband and father, intense mental states, and obsession with death. At 30, Plath ended her life by putting her head in an oven. And I probably should have been trigger warning, she dies, but I think we hopefully know that Plath does kill herself. Poets, I'm going to say, are a bit sensitive. I've been talking on Facebook myself about how triggered I get by certain comments, and they're nice. They're nice comments, right? They're supposed to be nice, at least. Pick yourself up. Oh, how can you think that anyone would believe in you if you don't believe in yourself? Well, that's not nice. That's not like what we think of as, helping each other anymore. So, when you think of poets or artists or your best friend or your sister or brother or whoever, you might be going through a little phase or might be going through a big phase. Should be truth, it happens. Maybe empathy is a little different than you think. Okay, maybe saying their dark poetry isn't dark, but instead really reflects the times. Something. It can be cliche, but as long as it doesn't come off the tone as judgment. We hear tones so well. Even when we say we miscommunicate on email, usually the tone is really there. Usually the person who sends it just doesn't know it. So, my Sylvia Plath, don't let anyone kill themselves, live life to the fullest sort of note. Also on that note, if you know someone needs pushed off and out of the nest, and no, I don't mean by killing them, I mean by making them fly, please help them. If they need a little bit of inspiration, give it to them. I don't care how you do it. If you whisper in the ear, you can do it. Or if you gift them a little something silly, or even give them a painted rock and be like, you can do this. You have no idea the power that small things have. Remember that. I was brought to tears today at my poetry class because one of my poetry, I guess students, wrote a poem about her own sort of struggle with aphasia, and it was me. I was crying, but God was it healing. It's little things, small things, and things that you don't think about. So that is my Plath speech. Forgive me for going on too long. This would be Sunday's card technically, though, like I said, all of these energies sort of merged. All are about creativity, individuality, and facing darkness. This is actually community, which is opposite of the wolf, which is probably why I was saying with the wolf card, you could have the pack, right? Mm-hmm. So it's taking care of each other, safety nets, and exile. And this is Leslie Marmon-Silko. I'm going to have to look her up because I have not read her work, though she sounds fascinating. It says in here, at least the time that this was written, that she's alive. Her birth was 1948. She's of Pueblo, of Pueblo, Mexican, European, and Cherokee ancestry. She identifies most with the Laguna Pueblo culture, which holds a vital belief in the universe's interconnectedness. Yeah, that we're all together, right? All those little sayings, all those little practices, all those little comments, good or bad or not, are all connected, and we can save each other. Silko's work explores the tensions between the Southwest's diverse communities and methods of healing. Her breakout novel, Ceremony, about a young half Pueblo, half white man trying to recover from his service in World War II, attracted a major spotlight to the Native American literature. All power. Groundbreaker. And she actually, it looks like, you can see in the picture there's a cat, and it looks probably the ground is probably representing some type of desert or sediment, like canyonish. And then I think that's the moon, probably with almost like, again, the third eye. That's all-knowing sort of feel. Yeah, beautiful. I did not show you the back of the cards. Also beautiful. Okay. All right. I know Kim is chatty and going on. Okay. So we should just do our cat wisdom. So then I can put a timestamp and be like, this is cat wisdom. This is Mabon. All right. Who can say no to cat wisdom? Not me. The actual box is here. Okay. And it says 45 cards to inspire and uplift. Trying to find, it's a Blue Angel Gallery. I was trying to find, the authors' names, and it's not on there. Okay, but anyway, we gotta don't panic. Okay. Does that cat look panicked? No panicking, no panicking. I was panicking today already, and it's no panicking. No, it's Mabon, don't panic. So I am going to read from the guidebook because, the cat card, of course you read from the guidebook. Since things have turned out the way they have, you're probably feeling a little startled and bewildered. Yeah. Not sure where to go from here? Don't panic. You just need to adjust your original plan to accommodate this new revelation, and things will work out fine. It just maybe take a little longer than your first thought. I want to add to that it doesn't have to just take longer, which sometimes it does. One of my biggest phrases and saying, especially about myself and aphasia and that sort of thing, is that I can't just go up the mountain. I swerve around the mountain, but eventually I get to the peak. Same deal. It takes a little longer, but at the same time, the journey's different. You see different things. You become a different person. You're not the same person as if you would climb up that mountain. For me, I'd be gasping for air. So seriously, probably be a different person. But you get my meaning, yes? There's more than just, don't panic. Find a friend, talk to us. I'm always available. You might have to leave me a message, just because I'm getting crazier and crazier in terms of time, and sometimes at my archaeology. And if I'm an archaeology dig, chances are I either can't or I don't have service, and I can't, but I will get back to you as soon as possible. You can cry to me and everything else, okay? So don't panic. And all of us here, either at TNL or my Facebook page or wherever, we're all here to tell each other, don't panic. I think that is 99% of what we do as friends, and probably 99% of what we don't do on Facebook. And should. I'm going to add that and should. All right. Now there's going to be a timestamp here. That's why I'm waving my hands. Okay. This is our Mabon deck. Oh, Tarot in Wonderland. Now this is an Italian deck. I haven't used it in quite a while. Okay. But Let's see if I can get it on the other side. Yeah. All right. It is, I haven't used it in a while, but it is fun. And again, for time's sake, I shuffled and, did the cards. And this, you don't have to feel like it's for a particular day. I do have 4 cards again. There are 4 days, but I want you to think about it, okay? All right. This is card 1. Strength. It is the 8th in the tarot deck traditionally. And these are all, I should say, major arcana. There are no minor arcana. So it's strength. Only if you find the way. Some don't recognize it when they do. Some don't ever want to. Inner strength, bravery, compassion, focus. Okay. A lot of those messages we just got, which is very keenly interesting. For those of you just tuning in, that means you have to watch the rest. Congratulations. All right, look at that. I really like that envelope. Okay. Oh, that's a frog invitation, and what is the frog invitation and the fish? Yeah, I'm supposed to be doing a book on this, so I should know. The sun. Okay, so this is a card. Now, please excuse me, I do have problems with any numbers, let alone Roman numbers. So it is 19. XIX. Anyway, if that's not 19, don't tell me. The sun. When you've understood this scripture, throw it away. If you can't understand the scripture, throw it away. I insist on your freedom. So they say it is joy, success, celebration, positivity. And yes, I totally agree. That's all of what we should be doing on any Sabbath, on any time. And really, this, I insist on your freedom as you give a card. It feels like almost sometimes we feel bound by cards. Do we have to send one back? Do we have to send a thank you if we get a gift? What do we do? Oh my gosh. Well, maybe you can just be free. Maybe you can just give art. Maybe you can give to the other person in the sense that you've been joyful. I have problems getting gifts. I have problems when I give gifts to my friends because they say it's too much. And it probably is. I'm not saying it's not. But there is something about watching someone's eyes light up and even knowing that you're not going to get something back. I definitely always use my homeless population, or at least my population that are endangered, shall we say, in my area. And there's a gentleman and there's been a lady with her children there at different times. And the gentleman, I rolled down my window. He was talking to somebody, and I was like, is he talking to me? I rolled down my window and he said, you're the first person who saw me. And he didn't mean like in like a I sort of way. It meant that I trusted him and put down my window. And I wouldn't have even had to give him money. He was just so happy to be seen. It's not that hard for us to do that. And that's what goes along with this card. We have that joy, success, positivity. We share it, but we also can insist on freedom. No one has to give us stuff back. Sort of like the universe gives us stuff back. I gave the gentleman a 20 another time, and he came back and he was teasing me, a few days later. Oh, no, no, 20. And he's like, I'm just joking. And I'm like, I know you're just joking. It's not a problem. And but you develop these relationships that you never would have had before that enrich your life. And you never would have done it. Would I go up to somebody just, if you want to call it begging, I don't want you to call it asking for money? No, I feel like I've been always told those people are scary. And I have found that the people that are much more scarier, and this gentleman told me and agreed, are the people that are in the expensive cars that don't watch and don't see. you know, Kim and her beat up little Corolla that could sees. And you know, he goes, I cleaned you out. And he did to clean me out. I had to get out. I was going to pay cash and I couldn't. I had to switch to card, but it was worth it, you know. So the sun, let's be the sun. Let's just not feel the sun. This is 8. This is Alice herself. She is holding the bottle that says drink and says death, which is also rebirth. For those of you who don't know upright, you're fine. I knew who I was this morning, but I have changed a few times since then. And of course, the quote goes on a bit further, not on here, but that Alice doesn't know who she is anymore. Who is she? She's changed so much. She's gotten small, she's gotten big, she's gotten fat. You know, who do you become when you change? And that is a question for this time of year during the seasonal change. And this is really the beginning, the change of the year. I celebrate Samhain as my new year, but this is Thanksgiving. We give blessings, we give everything. You know, we say thank you. We do our best, you know, to like count our blessings in some ways. I count my slights, I admit, but you know, like count your blessings more. And says the end of cycle, beginnings, change, metamorphosis, which is really basically typical of death. But I want you to see that she is having that potion, right? Says, drink me. Now, Alice listens. Alice does survive. She goes through a transformation. She becomes a different person by the end. But you never know what you're going to do when you take a bottle that says drink me. And I don't mean Drano, right? All right. I don't mean alcohol. It's like metaphorical. You don't know. You're going to partake in something that is uncertain. There is always going to be a transformation. You just don't know what it is. And you may not know the effects of it for decades. Okay. So that's not a caution. That is a friendly reminder. Just be prepared. For example, if you're going to burn a courage candle, you might be going somewhere, right? Racing out, doing something either great or small, but doing it without fear. And that's a consequence. Okay? So that's what I mean. No worries, right? Hookah, hookah. This is I love the hookah card. I'm so glad we pulled it. Okay. It is 21, the world. One of my favorite cards anyway. You have to look at that hookah, and of course it goes into like the circular, so it's like the world. Who in the world am I? Ah, that's a great puzzle. Now, how many of these cards deal with, all right, one's inner strength and bravery, okay. One is joy and success, celebration, positivity. End of cycles, beginnings, change, and metamorphosis. And fulfillment, harmony, and completion. Now it goes all the way through chronologically, and it can go all the way separately, and it can all happen together. That's brilliant. So this is fulfillment, harmony, completion. And Alice, you see, is about to start eating the mushroom. I really sometimes wish she would have had some of the hookah. Maybe she did. But I think that wisdom comes from everywhere. You don't have to be old to give wisdom. You don't have to be a crone. You don't have to be a sage. You don't have to, you know, be anybody. I learn more from people with dementia in the nursing home and people with dementia that are much younger. People with aphasia, much younger. I've learned many lessons that if you go outside of your comfort zone, which would be perhaps this potion, perhaps the sun, you can learn so much about yourself, so much about the world, and so much about how we can help and heal each other. Because I mean, what we, as just like as everybody, not just, just as people, as anyone creative, as anyone people, we need to come together and we need to be strong for each other. We need to hold each other's hands. I am going to tell one more tale, and you can tell I'm a storyteller. Yes, yes. Switzerland. I was not there. It was a writer's Facebook group, and this poor woman was having a meltdown. She was a writer. Her boyfriend had left her. Maybe it was like one of these he left the messages and she didn't understand. And I was sobbing. No one would answer her. No one in the entire world. There were, no kidding, not even thousands. I'm sure there's a million of us there. At least a million of different poets and writers, because it's like this huge Facebook group, and it was worldwide, and it was well known at the time, and now I think it's probably defunct. But I was like, do you need to talk? And she was so happy. Now, should it take someone from the United States Eastern Standard Time to talk to somebody in Switzerland? No. Was it absolutely and totally worthwhile and life-changing for both of us? Yes. Do we somehow need to get out of our comfort zones and get out there and just like meet people? Maybe. I'm an introvert usually. You wouldn't be able to tell, but Zoom has made me somebody different, and so is writing. And as like an activist, for those of us with aphasia and mental illness, and as an ambassador for poets and writers everywhere, get out there. Don't have them sign your book. Don't you sign their book. Shake hands, hug, if you can, with masks. Be safe about it, but help each other. That is what Mabon is. It is about Thanksgiving and blessings. And my biggest thing about Thanksgiving is the giving part. Now, I'll be giving thanks on another ritual, but this is the giving part, okay? This is me giving to you, and this is advice that you have to give to others the same way. It does not have to be monetary. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Just see each other. Be able to look at that person on the road that is selling flowers and know who they are. Just know them, see them, wave to them, say, I'm sorry, I don't have the money right now, but I see you. You will never know whose life you touch. You just don't know. I mean, I still remember when a gentleman in front of the line, my mother told me I couldn't have a cut daffodil. We couldn't afford it. I'm pretty sure he could. I'm pretty sure that she just didn't want me to have it. You know how that is. And he bought it for me and said, here, this is your daffodil. And that must have been when I was 4. And I will age myself. I am 39. In February, I will be 40. And yet I still remember that man. I know what he looks like. We do small things, and it makes a big impact. Happy Mabon. I'll be around for other rituals that you will be able to look and view and see. And I wish you well. Have a wonderful year. For those of you who believe that this is a new year, happy Thanksgiving. For you that don't, believe in Thanksgiving and not really the new year. And for those of you that do not celebrate Mabon, please, happy is what I always say. Feel blessed and be well. Have a wonderful night, a wonderful day, a wonderful afternoon, and may the force be with you.